Hello Reformers and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia. We are actually really close to the elimination of every other faction. The only ones that are remaining are the Dwarves, the Drow, and the Riders Majocracy. And we are very, very close to eliminating the Riders Majocracy. As you can see here, we're actually in a battle, a field battle, right outside the Wizard's Tower with over 400 of their units. Now, I've previously gone in here against, I think it was 540, and I won the first round pretty handily. So let's see if we're actually able to do the same here. I think we probably will be able to, but, well, let me just say that it was quite close. I did tend to take a lot of damage and so on and so forth, and I don't even know why, but it seems like, what is his name now? Magister Mariana or something along those lines. He has absolutely huge amounts of units. I think he had about 400 in his army alone, and there were a bunch of other vassals that joined him and all that sort of thing, so obviously that's the reason why we're fighting a much bigger force than otherwise would be. But I'm actually really surprised that he had such a huge force, because he is a person from the Delphusum Empire. Yes, you remember those guys. They're the undead faction. And I'm just kind of surprised that, you know, he had so many. I don't even know how he was able to do that. Usually vassals that defect don't have the biggest of armies, and usually the liege himself, you know, he'll be the one to have an amazing army, but not in this case. Not in this case. It seems like this guy is the one that's pulling the most weight around here, which is very strange indeed. So maybe we'll get to see the Master Mage soon enough, because, you know, that's the guy that I'm a bit worried about finding, because he's gonna be pretty harsh, isn't he? He's gonna be pretty harsh. Anyway, let's see if we can survive this. Gonna just try and heal myself a little bit here while I get shot. Thank you very much. Mummy Archers. Hello, Mummy Archers. I remember using those way back on, what was his name now? Arcane. Yes, I remember using those because I had no idea about any of the units and what they upgraded into, and it was just really fun finding out what they became. And so Mummy Archers and Skeleton Archers and all that sort of thing, and then zombies, and yeah, it's all very well and good. Anyway, 237 against 293, so you can see that we're actually winning this quite easily. We are gaining a pretty decent amount of renown while we do it, and we're right outside the Wizard's Tower. So I guess what I'm going to do is cut away after this round, and yeah, hopefully be able to eliminate them and take them prisoner. Speaking of prisoners, I actually have a wide variety of vassals in my prisoner's hold as we speak, because there were a number of them kind of milling about a little bit, very, very close by to the Wizard's Tower, and I was just like, okay, what are you doing there? I better attack you. And so I attacked them. There was only about, I don't know, 150 total, but there was 4 vassals or so included in that particular fight, so, you know, it was kind of easy to take them prisoner. And I got all of them. I got all of them except one, as far as I'm aware. So I now have a total of 4 vassals, because I think I've actually been able to capture one from a previous episode. So obviously that makes a big difference in the amount of ransoms that we're able to get, and obviously removing the powerful units from the battlefield. Being able to make sure that we're not going to be, you know, ganged up against. And, okay, so this might be the, okay, yeah, this is exactly it. This is where he's getting all of his numbers. All of the zombies, all of the skeletons, and so on and so forth, that the Magister Marjana or Mariana, or whatever his name is, you know, that guy, he has a majority of number in skeletons and zombies, and that's it. Because, obviously, he is a necromancer, technically. He is a Lord of Death, or a Lord of Undeath, you know, depending on how you look at it. And, well, obviously that means that he has a much, much bigger army than most people, because after every single fight, he's going to be able to reanimate units. Alright, there's another 137. Okay, so I guess this is where we cut away, and I'll see you after we have achieved victory. Alright, so there you go. That was pretty handily won. As you can see, we were able to eliminate 127 of them. There's only 30 left, so I'm just going to tell my units just to charge straight on in there, and hopefully we'll be able to take some of them prisoner. There we go. There's the leader of the assault, and there's that guy. Yes, he managed to escape, unfortunately, but, well, what can you do? It's not really a big deal. Alright, so Journeyman Hood enhances magic. Yes, I forgot about these things. We do have a number of items in the game that can increase the power of your magic. Arcane was certainly one to wear a huge amount of those things. And now, there is the liege, as far as I'm aware. Archmage Firoward. He is the leader of the Ridus Magocracy, and there's actually a guy from the Blazing Hand over there. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I'm in pretty high spirits right now. It seems like all of our people are pretty fine, and we seem okay in general. So it seems like we are now gonna, yes, we're now gonna go in again against another 500. Right. Okay. So for this, I'm gonna show the first 2 rounds. And then after that, we'll just cut away until the end, because the first 2 rounds are usually the most difficult. And so if we can get a good amount of fun out of this, then obviously that would make a good deal of sense. And obviously, hopefully not dying in the process. So let's see what they actually have here. They don't seem to have too much. I mean, yeah, they have a huge amount of clay golems and stone golems and so on and so forth, but their archers, or should we say mages, don't seem to be too active. They are shooting at us, of course, but I have a feeling that they're probably not going to be able to do too much. I mean, they are actually... Ooh, they have some Blazing Hand Inquisitors too, because of that defector as well. So that's obviously something to take into account. We might be in a bit of trouble here. I don't know. Now, bear in mind that my damage modifiers are all on normal, you know? I've said that in the first revisited episode. And, yeah, they have not been changed ever since I started this particular series. But anyway, let's see if we can pull this off. I mean, as you can see, right now, seems like the clay golems and the stone golems and the Blazing Hand Knights, they're working really well together. Now, where are the stone... there's the stone golems. Okay, there we go. I'm going to try and eliminate it. Can you just get out my way? Thank you very much. There we are. Stone golem taken down. The clay golem, I don't mind so... Oh, I kind of do mind about the clay golems. They have morning stars, and they're able to kill us. Thought they were actually using blunt weapons for a second there. But I think some of them do, some of them don't. Really depends, but if I can eliminate at least the stone golems... I mean, you can see, the stone golems are absolutely destroying... Well, the clay golems as well. But yeah, they're absolutely destroying us right now. This is not good. Could I just... Yes, there we go. The scimitar speed. Yes. Scimitar speed, you cannot stop it. It is in control of my... Okay, I was going to say, it's in control of my body. I can't control myself. No. Apparently that doesn't matter. Apparently it doesn't matter, not at all. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so we did lose a huge amount of units, but they're only wounded. So it's not really a big deal. Alright, I'm going to be retreating here, even though I would be getting a huge amount of renown from this particular engagement. But you can see how many forces they actually have here. They may not be very big, but the ones that are pretty large are quite powerful. So obviously that's a bit of a problem. Wow, this seems to be much more... much more in-depth and difficult than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a pretty easy stomp, actually, for me to go over to the Wizard's Tower and just take it instantly. But no, it seems like they're putting up a pretty decent fight, which I'm pretty happy to see, half and half, you know. On the one hand, I'd love to see them die very quickly, and on the other hand, I'm just like, oh yeah, well, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see a faction be a little bit resistant to our amazing, overwhelming power. Yes. There we go. Yeah, we're having a lot of problems with our companions at the moment. They don't seem to like being around here. There's the drow, by the way. The drow are actually doing a pretty decent job at expanding, which is a bit weird because I don't think we're at war against them. So they must have done that beforehand. And, oh yes, there we go. We're gaining a couple more people joining us. I'm actually going to be rejecting this offer, even though we are losing honor for that. Let's just take a look. My honor rating is currently 512, so I'm pretty sure I don't really need any more honor. Thank you very much. Yeah, probably don't need any more honor. Anyway, there's also a dwarven castle over there. And one over there, of course, and then one there, one there, one there. Okay, so they only have 5 fiefs remaining, the dwarves, and the drow have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, wow, okay, they've been busy, haven't they? They've been very, very busy. Alright, so, at least we are back to full strength now. Let's take a look at our infantry. Oh yes, another 31 Blazing Hand Inquisitors. Oh, they do not know what they are in for right here. Literally 100 and... what is it now? 182. Yes. Crazy. Crazy amounts. Okay, so, wow, this guy has decided to do something a little bit ill-advised. I probably would not have advised him to go in here against us at that exact moment, because they would have otherwise been able to get the Archmage himself engaged in the battle with us. And that would have made a huge difference to how effective their attack is going to be against us, because they have clay golems, stone golems. He has just an overwhelming amount of those. I mean, I think he has 50 of each of those, or something like that, and, well, we know how devastating they can be. Oh, that was close. That lightning bolt almost hit us in the face. Thank you very much. You know, I'd rather not. I'd rather not take that in the face, if at all possible. That would be good. Alright, so let's see what I can do here. Maybe we can just place our units behind the hill. And then see if they... I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't really matter either way. I mean, I literally don't have any kind of recourse. There's no tactic to be used here because I just have one kind of unit, which is a bit of a shame, really. But, well, what can you do? I mean, they are thematically correct for what we're currently trying to do here. We are trying to be, you know, the Faith Edition and so on and so forth. You know, we are trying to use the units that are very much in keeping with that theme. And of course, it is kind of in keeping as well a little bit that maybe the Blazing Hand would have sort of an offshoot of members from an elite sect or something along those lines that is involved in taking out magic users and in general just that kind of thing. So, you know, it kind of does fit a little bit with the backstory that I wrote out for him all those years ago. Yes. Yeah, it's hard to believe that it was years ago, right? Yeah, pretty hard to believe. Anyway, let's just try and eliminate as much of these guys as we can. Obviously, I don't even know what's going on with our units right now. It seems like they're all scattering very weirdly. I don't know why they're doing that. I should really tell them to come back and just regroup, to be honest, because they're otherwise just getting themselves picked off at every possible turn, which is not good at all. And that guy's going to absolutely murder me. That's a duelist as far as I'm aware. Whoa, okay, I think that, yeah, that horse is very powerful. Alright, so I'm going to try and get off here. And let's see if I can do some damage with the Scimitar of Speed. There we go, take that, thank you. Alright, I'm just going to run into the opponent and see if I can do some damage with my Scimitar of Speed. I mean, obviously, the main thing with the Scimitar is that obviously it does not have any kind of crushing through blocks. It can't really do anything other than swing extremely fast. That's literally it. So if you have a bit of power, you know, power strike, then the Scimitar of Speed is absolutely fantastic. I don't even remember how much I paid for it. But if you're going to get any weapon and you're any kind of, you know, like, I don't know, maybe duelist, some sort of duelist subclass or character build or whatever with a huge amount of athletics or something like that, then I highly recommend the Scimitar of Speed. It's just really fun to use. Absolutely. Hugely fun. And there you go. So that was easy, wasn't it? Yeah, that was pretty easy. Now, do bear in mind that my battle size is not the biggest it could be because, you know, I've further explained that in previous episodes where playing different mods, and if those mods have a different ratio in terms of the, you know, amount of units that you can have on the battlefield at once, and then you change that ratio to something a little bit less because you don't want to, burn your PC or, something like that up, then obviously it makes sense to reduce it a little bit. And if you reduce it in that mod, and in this case I'm talking about a World of Ice and Fire, then you go to another mod, like for example a Clash of Kings or Parisno or Pendor or something like that, then that battle size is also going to be reflected there. So in other words, if you reduce your battle size from 750, which is the maximum in a World of Ice and Fire, to 250, let's say, then you're technically going to be reducing it in the normal game, or in this case Phantasy Calradia, down to 50 from 150. So obviously that makes a difference there. Now, if I were to change the battle size in the game files, then that might make things even worse if you are playing a mod like a World of Ice and Fire and you don't really want huge, massive battles that are just going to, come to a crawl in terms of your frame rate. Because even though Warband is a pretty old game, and the engine is extremely old, because obviously it was developed alongside, the original Mount of Blade in, what was it now, 2006 or 2008 or so, I don't know, something along those lines. And basically Warband is just it's based on the same engine. So obviously that, taking that into account, and the fact that it's not very well optimized for extremely large amounts of units on the screen at once, then yeah, it's probably not the best idea to have a custom battle size, especially something, like in a World of Ice and Fire, because you're just literally going to melt your PC. Because if you have 750 normally and you increase it to, let's say you increase the normal battle size from 150 to 250, then in a World of Ice and Fire, you're going to be increasing, it to almost 1500, I guess. Almost 1500, something along those lines, and that's pretty crazy. I don't know even if a NASA computer or a Beast computer would be able to handle a battle size of that. I mean, it depends on obviously your graphic settings and everything, and depends whether you're using DirectX 9 or DirectX 7, but the point is, that's the reason why my battle size is default at the moment, because making it custom and then switching from mod to mod doesn't really make sense. So yeah, that's the reason why. Otherwise, I guess we're just going to continue slaughtering. Alright, so with all of that technical mumbo-jumbo out of the way, we have achieved victory. And yeah, our only casualty was Unela there. I actually did get myself taken out by a Saranid. What? I think it was a Saranid? Yeah, it was a Mamluk of some sort, so obviously a Saranid, I would expect. But anyway, yeah, I got killed by him because he lanced. Yes, he absolutely lanced my face off, so that's obviously not very nice. Otherwise, I can take this guy prisoner, which I am going to be doing, of course. I'm going to be taking as many people prisoner as possible, because I do not want them running around and attempting to subvert my efforts to eliminate their faction. So let's see if I can go into the wizard tower right now. Now, these guys are attempting to attack us, which is all very well and good, but they seem to have... Wow, they are all here. Literally, all of them are here. I find it really amusing, however, that many of the forces, like, for example, Clay and Devlian and Tribidon and Garmal, they are all from different factions, and them becoming mages is actually kind of amusing to me in the first place. Anyway, let's see what's actually going to happen. It seems like they're just going to continue assaulting me at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to try and eliminate all of them, or as many of them as I can, because you've obviously seen that I can take most of them on, and then we're going to go into the Wizard Tower, because I have never seen the siege of the Wizard Tower, and I think it would be really fun. So that will happen in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.